What's up? Hope you guys are good. So if you haven't heard about it, the Ahsoka show has had a huge leak that may or may not be true. We'll have to see. But if you haven't heard about it, it is wild. So getting into it, the leak is that Ahsoka will go into the world between worlds and go back in time to key points in her life as a Jedi and with Anakin Skywalker to see if she can prevent him from turning bad, prevent all the problems that happen in the main timeline. It's still going to be the same timeline, I'm assuming, but she's going to go back in time through the world between worlds and try and prevent Anakin turning bad and everything else. But there's more to it, because we also hear that apparently everything she tries to sort out always ends up the exact same. So I'm guessing she's going to go back to the Mustafar fight with Obi-Wan and try to talk Anakin out of it. Maybe prevent Padme from getting choked by Anakin. You know, she's been choked before by Anakin, but in this case, this one was lethal, and she's going to try to prevent that. Or maybe she'll go back even further. Well, it's the same day, but she'll go back to the Jedi Temple where Anakin was going to slaughter all the Jedi and younglings, and she's going to prevent that from happening. And I assume all of this based off the idea that Ahsoka will go back to, of course, not leave the Jedi Temple and leave Anakin with the Jedi, with no one he can truly speak to. You know, he's just left with Obi-Wan, who he can speak to, but Obi-Wan has all the morals of a pure Jedi, and that is totally the opposite of what Anakin is. He's emotional, natural, and he's the most human out of all the Jedi when it comes to his morals and his personality and his feelings. He actually feels things that the Jedi have prevented themselves from feeling. So to prevent leaving Anakin in that situation, of course he's going to want to go back and undo every decision she made that could stop her or keep her away from preventing Anakin's decision making and to stop everything bad from happening. And to be honest, she can even prevent the Jedi from making the terrible decisions they made coming up to the start of their demise. Anyway, so after hearing all of this, what do you guys think? Put it down below. I'd love to hear your opinions and your takes on this. What do you think could happen? Because of course we already know she's gonna be searching for Ezra and Thrawn's gonna be in this, and we're gonna find out what's going on with them guys. And apparently they might be in a whole nother dimension. This shit is just crazy. You know, I don't want it to stray too far from George Lucas and his ideals and his plan for the Star Wars universe. But at the same time, there's no one I'd rather have to make these decisions than Dave Filoni, George Lucas's apprentice himself. You know, he's the only one we can really trust to make these decisions. He knows exactly how George thinks about Star Wars, why he created Star Wars the way he did, and the meaning of everything that happens in Star Wars. So if anyone should make these crazy decisions, it's him. It's not Kathleen Kennedy, it's not Bob Iger, it's not Bob Chapek, whichever one's in charge now. Some Bob is in charge. But yeah, for Dave Filoni to do this can either be the greatest thing we've had from Disney Star Wars, or it can, you know, put us further down the rabbit hole of ruin, basically. So how do I feel about this? Right now, I'm not sure, but it seems very interesting, very unique, and it's a huge risk that he's taken on in a way. Considering the craziness he's going to bring into the Star Wars universe, it will change a lot, but I'm sure he'll play it safe as he understands Star Wars, and this could be the start of something amazing, which I hope it is. But I just hope it doesn't make plot holes for the prequels and the originals that George Lucas made. You know, he needs to be careful while he makes this transition into something totally new from Star Wars, and something we'd never think of could ever exist in Star Wars. Because don't forget that the World Between Worlds was so controversial, and it still is controversial. You know, a lot of people don't like it. It's such a modern fantasy type of move to have that. You know, we've got the Marvel universe where they're going back in time. There's loads of multiverses. There's other universes in this multiverse. It's a very clunky idea, and it does create problems. In fact, it creates eternal problems. You know, there's never-ending problems. You can just pick apart loads of little things that it can affect and make no sense. But yeah, in Dave Filoni we trust. You know, he's the chosen one. He's the guy. He's the guy I want to create everything Star Wars from here on out, even though that's not going to be the case. You know, we just need Star Wars to get good again. Tales of the Jedi was the best thing we've had in so long. And of course, that was Dave Filoni. He understands Star Wars, so we got something that was amazing. Andor was really not all that. Good writing, good acting, good camera work, but it did not feel like Star Wars, and that's not the Star Wars I want to see in the future. Even though Season 2 will be amazing. Even though Season 2 will be so much better now they've laid the groundwork. Now we can actually get into the more important stuff leading up to Rogue One. But yeah, I just cannot wait for Ahsoka. This is so interesting. There's so many things that we don't know about if this is true, because of course this is just the baseline of where we can go with this leak. There's so many other things we can come up with and think about that could happen in this show. And we love Ahsoka. She's one of the best characters in Star Wars. And for her to have this much importance to go into other universes or go back in time, like at this point she's gonna end up being the most important character in Star Wars and the main character. Who is the chosen one, Ahsoka or Anakin? If she's going back in time to try and change things, then she's starting to sound like the chosen one. You know, she's got that light side user inside of her from the Clone Wars. You know, the embodiment of the light side or something. I mean, how much more main character traits does she need before she ends up being the chosen one? She should be the chosen one in this show. That's what we're going to find out at this point, because that's just crazy. You know, compare her to Anakin. Anakin was obviously the chosen one before all of this Ahsoka stuff came up. This is getting real crazy and very interesting. I've just realised how excited I am. I was actually nervous about it, you know, because it could change so much, but it's Dave Filoni. He's the modern day George Lucas, and a lot of fun things are happening. I just cannot wait for this show. I bet you guys can't either. What do you guys think about it? Put it down below. Let me know your theories and your opinion on this. Do you like it or do you not like it? We'll be talking more about this as we get closer and closer to the show, and we'll be talking about it during the show and theorizing. So yeah, I cannot wait. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one.